Hello everyone, vickieverlie here, rock and roll prophetess. Today we're going to take a look at this Venus-Jupiter conjunction. So this is extremely lucky, fortunate, brings luck, love, money, and it's very fortunate. It's a once-a-year occurrence, but it's not always in the sign of Cancer. And Jupiter, the planet of expansion, luck, and good fortune, is exalted in the sign of Jupiter. So joining up with Venus is even more powerful, more intense. Luck, good fortune, happiness, all sorts of wonderful things could be coming your way. And we're going to look at the sign by sign in just a moment. Before we get started, you're watching the Rock and Roll Prophetess on YouTube, and my name is vickieverlie, and you can find me at vickieverlie.com. Do not be fooled by imposters. If you enjoy these readings, you can hit that like and subscribe. That really helps the channel, and it's highly appreciated. I am open for readings, so if you want to get a personal reading from me and some of my other offerings, I actually have quite a few different offerings, you can head over to my website if it interests you. Well, the thing is, Jupiter's primary function is really about expanding and making more of and growing something. So what it's doing, it's going to grow the Cancer energy, which is nurturing, loving, food, mother, all these wonderful things. But it's also going to grow that Venus energy. Now, primarily we think of Venus as love, which it is. You know, Venus is love. Venus and Mars are the love planets. But Venus also rules over money. It absolutely is the ruler of money. It's the ruler of pleasurable things. Now, the only downside of this Venus-Jupiter conjunction, possible downside, is overindulgence. So that could be something that you might want to watch out for. But overall, it should be really fortunate, really lucky, just a great day for everybody. So let's go to sign by sign, and we're going to start with the sign of Aries. So Aries, this is happening down here in your 4th house of home, family. So it could be a great day to do something around the home. It could be a great day to do something with the family. Somebody, a loved one, could really come forward with some beautiful gift for you. Might not be, well, with Venus it could be a financial gift, you know, something having to do with money. But it more so feels like, you know, a beautiful gift, like gives you a flower from the garden, or somebody says they love you, or, you know, something that really touches your heart and makes you feel really loved. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put 3 cards for each sign. Just back up the reading. Let's do 1, 2, 3 cards from my Rock and Roll Tarot deck. I haven't been using this deck much lately. I'm going to break it out again. So we got the Knight of Cups. That's a representation of you. The 7 of Pentacles. And then thirdly we have the Hierophant. You know, this Knight of Pentacles, yes, that can be a the Knight of Cups, excuse me. Yes, that can be a representation of you for sure, but it also can be that kind of heartwarming, touching thing that I was talking about, like somebody just doing something really sweet and loving for you, or maybe you being loving towards others. Scorpio is standing out here to me, so maybe for some of you, this could be a Scorpio. Typically, this is a water sign, a Scorpio, a Cancer, or a Pisces. But I feel like in some cases, this is just going to be you feeling into that vibe of that lovey energy vibe. Some of you may have this big pile of money to deal with here. Some of you may be considering selling a home or moving house too, and you may be able to do very well. You know, you may be able to get a really good price if you were to sell now. The Hierophant talks about some kind of a group or organization. So some of you may find a group or organization where you really feel at home and you really feel welcome and loved. Maybe you're going to move to a new neighborhood and you feel really welcome and loved. Maybe some of you are going to start a job with a new company and you feel really welcome and loved. But there is this overall vibe of just feeling really welcome and loved. Okay, next we're going to take a look at the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus, this is going to be in your 3rd house, but the interesting thing for you is that Venus is your ruling planet. So Venus transits you will feel often more than maybe some of the other people. So 3rd house, you could get some great news, some kind of a big message, some great news. This could also be like, normally I would say maybe you're going to find a car or something. Actually, Mercury goes direct just that day before, but if you can put it off, I would wait a little while, but maybe a great trip, maybe finding a car. Check your inbox, check your spam, because Mercury has just come out of retrograde, so there could be some great message in there, you know, a job or an invitation or something like that that maybe you missed or something. So, be sure to check in on those types of things. But overall, communication, if you're a writer, I know many Tauruses are creatives, if you wanted to do some writing, you could be really in flow. The writing could just be flowing and going great for you. Let's go ahead and pull a few cards. We're going to do 3 cards for each sign. So let's get 3 cards for our Taurus friends, Sun, Rising, Moon, anybody with Taurus energy in their chart. 4 rods, changes in the home environment for the better. The Lovers, some of you may be like getting serious in your love relationship. And I have a 2 of Pentacles. Some of you may be really getting, or falling in love again, I'm hearing. So if you're in a long-term relationship, you could be falling in love again. You could be falling in love again with a lot of things. Maybe you're falling in love with your house. Maybe you find your dream home. Both of these, Lovers, of course, is love and relationship and everything. And Venus rules over that, so that makes a lot of sense. The 4 of Rods, the 1111 cards, often I will use it for more about the house than anything else. But it's definitely a card of marriage and being in a committed relationship. Often I will say with this card, it may be, living together. Maybe not, and making it legal, quote unquote, but maybe you're moving in, or you might as well be, you have some drawers over at their house or your house and a toothbrush and whatnot. 2 of Pentacles is here. So some of you, Tauruses, you're always thinking about that money. So some of you may be thinking about, well, if we're going to live in together, well, how are we going to split the bills? Who pays what? How are we going to divide up our finances? Because Tauruses always want to make sure that you get that kind of thing straight. For others, you may be moving to a new location because of a job. Because this could definitely be some news coming about a job or something like that. But overall, good news is coming. Messages, again, check those spam folders. You may have some kind of surprise, wonderful, exciting opportunities coming your way. Okay, next we're going to take a look at the sign of Gemini. So we're looking at the rising sign, but you could apply this to Sun, Rising, Moon, or anybody. But it's strongest for as far as the astrology part, it's going to be strongest for your rising sign. Well, Gemini, this is in your 2nd house of money. So definitely some big financial news could be coming your way. Increase in money, finances, prosperity. What you value. Now, the 2nd house is more than just money. It's what you value. So what you value increasing by 3-fold, my guides are saying. So let's cut 3 cards for our Gemini friends for this lovely Venus-Jupiter conjunction. 8 of Rods, things are moving quickly towards, what's it pointing at? Ace of Rods, new beginnings. And the Swords, Page of Swords. So Page of Swords is a messenger as well. Page of Swords is messenger and air sign. All the young dudes carry the news, I always say. Excuse me 1 second. But also, this can be a representation of you. This can be a representation of you when you were younger, as a child or something. That says gossip, but I saw gosling. Like, not the actor Gosling, but, young geese are called goslings, Or maybe the actor Gosling, who knows, but I associated with the young geese there. So some kind of news is coming, a new beginning that can be springing forth, probably related to finance for most. Because it may have to do with, if you have kids, it could be your child or grandchild. But also, this could have to do with you as a child. What was maybe your childhood dream or your childhood wish? You could suddenly be getting, some kind of a spark for it. Something that you thought was long past, long gone. And I'm hearing that song Suddenly Last Summer. And suddenly last summer. So could be something dating back to last summer, because after all, you are ruled by Mercury, and Mercury has just come out of the retrograde like on the same day for most people. Within the 24, I believe it's going to be within the 24-hour period. Let's see. Mercury goes direct. This is Eastern time at 3:30 a.m. and then 1:30 a.m. the following day Eastern time, the Venus-Jupiter conjunction. So it's this 11th, 12th time frame is really potent and powerful. But looks like good news is coming. Could have some financial slants, especially for our Gemini rising. But it's news coming about an opportunity for this new beginning, a seed that you planted, maybe even planted as a child, as far as a dream of yours, but maybe even planted during this last Mercury retrograde, and it could be coming to, into motion. I second that emotion. All right, Cancer, you're up next. Well, it's in your sign. Hello. So this is super lucky, super fortunate. This is for sun, rising, moon, everybody. You know, people are going to be attracted to you. These are the great attractor. Jupiter's the great attractor. So put on your best face, do your best, that you can to present yourself in a way, because you're going to, and people are going to be willing, not only are going to be attracted to you, but they're going to be willing to go along with you and your plans and ideas. You're going to be a leader at this time. My guides are coming through. So sometimes, Cancers, you're kind of shy and you're kind of in the background and you're maybe not that comfortable being the leader all the time. But this is a time to step into your power, okay? Let's get our 3 cards for our Cancer friends. We have Ace of Cups, new beginnings in love, happiness, joy, creativity. Magician, also you could think of as an ace because it's number 1. And then the poverty card of the 5 of Pentacles. So you could really have a big boost up. If you've been feeling kind of down, if you've been feeling kind of, less than or drained out or whatever the case may be, the Magician here is like you've got, and the Ace of Cups too, you feel reinvigorated. You have a new lease on life. You feel like you can conquer the world or do anything. So you're coming out of this feeling drained or unworthy, or just, I feel more drained than anything, just kind of drained out. And wow, is this bursting forward. All these aces here, this is a very powerful time for you to set your intentions. Set your intentions, even if your birthday is not right now. This could be your powerful manifestation for the upcoming year, or even the upcoming 12 years, next 12 years, because that's how long it's going to be before Jupiter gets back in your sign again. So it's really powerful. It's empowering to you. You're going to start to feel better. Embrace that energy of the Jupiter-Venus and let it propel your life forward into creating the life of what you want it to be. All right, next we're going to look at Leo. Now, if you're Leo, this is particular to Leo rising, but it could apply to anyone, these part up here, but the cards will apply to every Leo placement. So Leo, with the 12th house energy, this is that psychic spiritual energy. Your intuition could be off the hook. And the sun is still in your sign right now. So, you could really be feeling, just getting those psychic intuitive downloads. And those messages, clear-cut messages from your guides about which way to take, what direction you want to take your life in. Messages from spirit guides. Look for those little signs and symbols. Those are going to be important at this time. Okay, let's cut some cards for our Leo friends for the Jupiter-Venus conjunction. The Sun card, well, the Sun is in your sign, but the Sun is also your ruler. You're ruled by the Sun. Making a big decision. And the Magician, again. So making a big decision about how you're going to go forward in your life and take your power back. The Sun, besides being your ruler and the Sun is in your sign, that's also a card of being very much empowered here. Feeling very much empowered. What decisions do you have to make at this time that are going to allow you to shine like the Leo that you are? Allow you to stand in your grace and beauty. Allow you to bask in the sun and be in your glory, is what my guides are saying. So, very, very powerful, but there does seem to be some big decision that has to be made. Now, for some, the decision could be outside of your hands. Maybe somebody else is making the decision, but then if you're waiting on a decision from another party, this would say that, yes, you're going to be very happy with the outcome. It could go in your favor. The other thing is, if you are poised to make this big decision and you can't really decide, go to your guides, ancestors, and spirit guides and angels and ask them for guidance, ask them for a sign. I was at the lake the other day. Let me get a quick sip of water. And I asked my guides for a sign. I was pleading with my guides for a sign. And within minutes, I got this. I don't really want to say it because it's kind of personal, but I really got this. Within minutes, I got this very tangible sign, absolutely a message from my guides. So you have to ask. Sometimes you have to ask. And you've got that direct line to your guides and angels with that 12th house activation during this time. Okay, Virgo, well, you know, this is coming in your 11th house of friends and associates, so it's a great time to make new friends, join new groups. You know, Virgo, sometimes you can be a little bit on the shy side. You're very, you know, you're just always studying and working. You know, you're so diligent, and you're such a good, you know, you're so embodied in your servitude all the time. So this could be a time, I mean, it could even be, if you want to do this, when I said servitude, maybe if you're looking to a spiritual group or church, you could find that at this time. That really resonates with your beliefs. This can also be money from the career and hopes, wishes, and dreams. So there could be some really positive things coming through on that front. But I feel like for most Virgos, it may be something where you just really feel like you belong. Like, these are my peeps. This is my tribe. You know, you could really find a tribe. So if you're invited to, or something intrigues you, some kind of group activity or meeting, definitely go. Okay, you've got the King of Rods, fire sign energy, and the Wish card. Lovely. So your wish is coming true while we're in Leo. So we're going to be in Leo till the 22nd, and the star. Look at this beautiful energy that you have. Well, you are just in the zone, in the moves. Oh, excuse me 1 minute. I have this froggy throat. These allergies in this season, I think there's a lot of it. King of Fire, King of Rods. So this is perhaps a fire sign person, a Leo, an Aries, or Sagittarius. But also, I'm feeling stronger that it's talking about while we're in Leo season. So we're going to be in Leo season until the 21st, 22nd, something like that. So you've got a good week and a half here that this person could come in. This person could change your life. Oh, by the way, on these cards, if you see any words in the background, definitely pay attention to those. Somebody could change your life. And they're brought in by spirit guides and angels. Whenever star is in the reading, higher forces are at work. Your spirit guides and angels are trying to bring you blessings of all sorts. They're trying to guide you through navigation of this, you know, this world that we live in, to your true north. And a wish is coming true. So this person could absolutely have something to do with the wish coming true. Whether they are granting the wish in some way, or whether they are the wish themselves. Maybe you've been wishing for a, you know, this friendship, love affair, who knows. Maybe you want to be a star in your field. Maybe this person, because this is money from the career and hopes, wishes, and dreams. Maybe this person has the ability to propel you into the spotlight, or where you get acknowledgement and you are the star of whatever it is. You know, it doesn't have to be a star like social media or a movie star or whatever. It can be a star of, you know, your field. The star of the show. That's what they're saying. For someone, I said star of the show, I saw some kind of like a dog show or something. I know Virgos, you love animals too. So maybe you're if you've been thinking about entering your dog in a dog show, maybe it might be a great time to do it. Okay, next we're going to take a look at the sign of Libra. Well, Libra, this is your 10th house of career, but even if you're not Libra rising, this is activating that cardinal cross, okay? Whenever the cardinal cross gets activated, Libra, Aries, Capricorn, Cancer all get activated. So if you're Libra rising, this could be very much big strides in your career, making your success, career, whatever you're shooting for in life, really is what it boils down to. Your true north, what is most important to you, what you're striving for. You could be making big strides, big stroke of luck and good fortune coming to you from that area of life. Let's get 3 cards for our Libra for this big Jupiter-Venus conjunction. Ace of Pentacles, so there you go, new money. 3 of Rods, your ship is coming in. By the way, in my Rock and Roll Tarot deck that I'm using, make sure, if you want to look at some of those background words, see if anything stands out to you. And then the Moon card. The Moon card can talk about the turn or the phase of a moon. Now let's see, we would have had the 9th. We would have had the full moon in Aquarius on the 9th. So this could be even a continuation of something, because this is only not even a week later, right? Or it also might be referring to the next new moon, which is that big 0 new moon on the 23rd. So it could be the 23rd that something big could be unraveling, or it could be this from something you put in your application, or you applied for the grant, the loan, whatever, on the 9th, and then it's coming through and you're getting that, that fruition. It's coming to fruition. The moon can also be like, pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. You may be getting some psychic downloads and information as well. But this new beginning in money, whatever this new thing that you're starting, it's going to be very successful for you. Whether it's a job, a business, maybe you're launching a website, maybe you're launching, who knows what. It's going to be different for everybody. But the Three of Rods is guaranteed of success. It's where you can really start. This is the beginning, okay? And then this is where you really start seeing those tangible results, where you really start seeing, my ships are coming in. I'm starting to see the fruits of my labor, okay? The moon can also talk about sometimes having to do with women or women's issues. So for those of you, if you were going to launch some kind of a business or something that would really appeal to women mostly, or maybe even get involved, I'm feeling for some like get involved in some kind of a women's group, and maybe it could even be a networking opportunity for you to, move your business forward or something like that. But big success is on the horizon, and this is up at the top of the wheel there for you. So reaching the top of the heap, a number one, da da. Okay, Scorpio. Oh, I forgot to do the bells. I got the new bells. I got to figure out a better way to kind of ring them. They're kind of over to the side. I should bring them over here. Damn, almost through the whole reading and I forgot about that. Well, Scorpio, it's over here in your 9th house. And so that's publishing. That's has to do with your spiritual growth. You can have some major, big spiritual downloads, big breakthroughs to like aha moments. That's what I'm feeling. Also has to do with long distance travel. Foreigners, so people that are foreign to you perhaps, but it's very favorable. It's very favorable. Another reason it's very favorable, which I mentioned in the big monthly reading, is because there's that great flow with the water energy. You've got that beautiful trine, that beautiful flow from the Cancer to Scorpio, the water vibes. So that could be really, really favorable and positive for you. Okay, let's take 3 cards for our Scorpio friends. You've got the Two of Swords. A decision is being made, whether by you or someone else. Knight of Swords, air sign energy. Oops. And then finally the Lovers. Well, some of you may be falling in love with, maybe you're skeptical. Scorpio, you're pretty slow. You're not to rush. Usually Scorpios don't rush right into love anyway, You may be, it takes a little while. It takes a little decision making. Do I want to let this person in? Do I not? And then you might, really fall in love with them. In the 9th house here, it could be somebody outside of your usual type, or maybe somebody from a different country or different nationality or different religion. It could be somebody that lives far away from you. You might meet somebody. But there's some kind of a decision that's going to be made. And the for some it feels like, the Knight of Swords is bringing it in. If you're already in a relationship, maybe this Knight of Swords is bringing in this, you're already involved with this person, but they're bringing in this wonderful news for you. It does feel like wonderful news. And with the Venus-Jupiter conjunction, that's what we're looking at all, on the big picture here. These are wonderful gifts and blessings that are coming your way. And again, with the beautiful trine energy. Now, the air signs could be Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Now, we're not in air sign time, but like I mentioned in another sign here, we did have on the 9th. Now, this is on the 11th, 12th. Now, on the 9th, we have that new moon in Aquarius. So if you're watching this before the 9th, make that new wish on that new moon in Aquarius, or full moon Aquarius, full moon in Aquarius, and then maybe when, it could happen really quickly. It might even happen within 2 days, It's the 9th, 10th, 11th, it might happen within 2 days. One more thing that this could represent, because it's air sign energy, might be Mercury, so it might be when that Mercury goes direct, bam, all this stuff starts really moving along. Okay, next we're going to take a look at the sign of Sagittarius. This is happening in your 8th house of joint finances, money, debt, taxes, and sex. So mostly I think of the 8th house as the joint finances thing, or money from other people. So it could be if you're married, this could be something great coming through. Your partner gets some big money, news that you are blessed with as well. Or it could be, that you get some kind of unexpected money, or something happens to you, get some raise, promotion, some kind of an inheritance, and sometimes it can be that as well. Let's clarify with 3 cards for our Sagittarius friends. Got the Nine of Rods, feeling a little bit on guard. Ace of Wands, some kind of a new beginning that's wanting to birth forth here, spark through. And the Six of Wands. Look at all the fire energy. Fire, fire, fire. And you're a fire sign. So fiery, sparking. You feel a little bit on edge about it, but there's a new opportunity that's presenting, and it could turn out to be so exciting and so fruitful for you. Six of Rods is promotion, raise, acknowledgement, getting the spotlight being on you, the hero's journey, other people nominating you or something, and maybe you're just getting this, because it could be money, yeah, but from the reading here, it seems almost like it's more about the props that you're getting. It's more about that, hey, I'm appreciated, I'm acknowledged. They want me, they nominated me, they want me to be the leader. It feels like if there's anything where there's like a vote, like you would be the winner. Or it doesn't even have to be a vote, but for some people I really feel like there's some kind of a vote thing. Could be the treasurer or the president of some club or organization, but maybe you're even running for an office. It can also be that you're this outside acknowledgement, like you threw your hat into the ring and you're chosen. Not necessarily by some vote, but by the powers that be, let's say. You know, maybe they say, okay, you're the most deserving, we're going to hire you, you're going to get the raise, you're going to get the project, you're going to get whatever it is, you get the gig, my guys are saying. So exciting times for Sagittarius. Exciting times for everybody. All right, Capricorn, now you are a cardinal sign. I keep forgetting to do the bell. All right, so Capricorn, you are a cardinal sign like Capricorn, like Cancer. So whenever these cardinal signs get triggered, you really feel it. This is going to have a lot to do with relationships for many. Even if you're not Capricorn rising, if you're Capricorn rising, it's your 7th house, it's your relationship house. But even if you're Capricorn sun or whatever, it's your opposite sign. So your opposite sign is always going to be the other person. It's not you, it's the other one. You know, it's the person, the outside. This is you on the inside, that's them on the outside. But, you know, so you can have some great blessing. Now, could be a partnership of romance for many, sure, but if you're not looking for romance, could be anybody. Business partner, somebody who comes along and gives you some great boost in some way through money, career, gives you, I'm feeling for some kind of a big tip, a hot tip. Let's see, let's get 3 cards for our Capricorn friends and see what we've got here. Knight of Pentacles, 8 of Rods, that's you, by the way, and 2 of Pentacles. Well, the 2 of Pentacles sometimes can be like, oh, I'm not sure, this money's like, I don't know, up and down kind of thing. But 2 of Pentacles can also be collaboration. And this could be a big opportunity for collaboration as well. The news is coming, and Earth sign energy is around it. Now, that could be you. But do we have, yeah, we're going to have an Earth sign, that big new moon on the 22nd. It's really powerful. It's all these girls. I talked about it back in the monthly overall reading. You might want to go back and watch that. But yeah, might be around that time. And now the money looks up and down, so it could be a few things. Could be that the money's up and down to start with, but it could turn out to be something really prosperous. But also it could be like we're figuring it out. If you're sharing finances or both contributing financially to some sort of a situation here, then, you know, who's going to pay what? You're going to cover this expenses, I'm going to cover this expenses. How are we going to split the profits if it's some kind of a business venture? Well, we'll put so much, you know, we're divvying it up. We're deciding we're divvying it up or something like that. It's going to happen quickly. It's going to come in quickly. So I know Capricorn, sometimes that you don't like that. You like to slow down. But, you know, it's going to come in quickly. So activate. Partnerships of all sorts are very favored, though, overall. You could have some kind of a blessing coming from somebody else who helps you, okay? All right, Capricorn, I'm available for personal readings. Check my website if you're interested. Next, we're going to move over to Aquarius. Now, this is happening in your 6th house of work and health, so it could be some great work opportunity. But I feel like the health thing for many is stronger. You may be feeling really good. Maybe, I feel like for some, you're seeing results finally. I know when you first start doing a routine like working out, or even if you're just walking every day or whatever, and you don't see any results, then all of a sudden you start seeing results. Sometimes it takes a while for stuff to kick in, you know. And we're just coming off of that full moon in your sign 2 days before also. So, you know, that could be, I feel like when you have the full moon around your sign, especially, because sometimes you get a little bloated. But, you know, or if you might find that thing, that health regimen, that you can really vibe with, that it doesn't feel like a chore. It's just like, oh, I got to go do this workout. It's like, oh, this is actually really fun, and I really like doing this. And it's healthy for me, and I like it. Or discover some new food or recipe with Cancer, too, that, some new way of eating. Like maybe you're trying to do some diet and it's just like, man, this food tastes like cardboard. I don't want to eat this crap. But then you find some good recipes, or even a great restaurant that serves vegan food or whatever. It doesn't have to be vegan. Whatever you're trying to, you know, whatever you're doing, you find a way to make it work for you where it's not a chore, or you're not suffering. Okay, it makes you happy. Queen of Rods, fire sign energy. Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings. So you could be getting a new job. Some of you could be, for sure. And then you're a little stressed out about it. Don't be stressed out, because this is a great time. You know, I know that this energy of this Pluto and all this stuff that's going on can be kind of, ooh, you know, it can get to you. Even you Aquarians who are so out there anyway, you know, it could really kind of amp things up. But this is something good for you. Now, coming in fire sign time, excuse me one second. Well, we are going to be in fire sign time during this transit. We'll still be in Leo sun sign. But this could also be a fire sign person. A Leo, an Aries, or a Sagittarius. But you're going to hear about that new money that you've been looking for. If you've been looking for new money, you're going to find out about it. You're going to get the job. You're going to get the gig. You're going to, or this could be also a good time to launch something. Well, I would give it a couple more days. So let's get out of this Mercury retrograde energy a little bit further out from it, you know. But boy, is this favorable, positive, and also feeling really good. So maybe some of this stress stuff, you know, exercise is a great stress buster too. You know it is. I know sometimes that doesn't do the trick for everybody, for all of it, but it certainly helps. So getting up and moving around is always helpful. Okay. All right, Pisces. So Pisces, you're another one, the water sign flow there, but it's in your 5th house. Love, romance, fun, children, creativity. This could be a time, this whole year actually, but specifically around this date for pregnancy. So that's great if that's what you're after. If you're wanting to get pregnant, if you're wanting to have a pregnancy, and you know, this would be a great time to try. But if you're not really wanting to get pregnant at this time, make sure that you take the proper precautions, because it could be definitely happening. But creativity, that's the most thing that I get. Fun with children, fun activities like with children and things like that. One of these cards flipped the wrong way, the 6 of Rods. So we're going to take that as our first choice. Then we're going to do cut, Hierophant, 6 of Rods, Hierophant, and Page of Swords, getting the news. Now, news coming in the time of air. We're not in air sign time right now, but as I've been mentioning right along, we're just coming off of that full moon in Aquarius 2 days before, and that is air sign energy. This could also be a child, because after all, the pages do represent children. So for sure it could be some child. Maybe if your child gets into some school or something, this could be an achievement. If you have kids, this could be something this is an achievement. This is acknowledgement, achievement, being really proud of something. You know, this looks like you know, something where you get that acknowledgement. There's a lot of pride in your accomplishments. That's what I'm getting. You feel really proud and strong, because I feel like you've worked really hard for it. There's some bigger group involved in this. So is this your kid's school or something? Maybe they got in school, or maybe your kid made honor roll or something, or, you know, or something like that, or, you know, got a great grade or something. Maybe you're going to get a job, even if you're wanting to be a teacher or work with kids in some way in this bigger organization. You could maybe get that acknowledgement. For some of you, this could be some child support. If maybe the courts are going to award you the child support you're seeking. But for others, it feels Not like that. It feels more like your personal pride and accomplishment, not because you're going after somebody or something. You know what I mean? It feels more like this is you on your own merits. You know, you getting on your own merits, or your children for some. For some of you, it definitely could be a baby coming or something like that. For some of you, there's something about writing or books or something. Maybe you wrote a children's book. Maybe this is a publisher here that's going to say, hey, we want to publish your children's book, you know, something like that. This could be medical. Maybe if you're wanting to get into some kind of pediatric medical program, maybe that's going to be it. Some of you could be a librarian, maybe a children's librarian. Whatever it is, whatever your heart's desire, really, at this time, it looks like it's there for the offering, not only because the fifth house is so fun and positive, but because you have that really nice divine flow through the water sign energy. All right, everybody. Well, you know, this is kind of similar to the readings I do on Patreon. If you like this format, I do something sort of similar. I go into a little bit more astrology, but I hope everybody has, you know, make a wish. This is a hugely fortunate time frame for everybody. You can use that energy. Check your rising sign the most in this reading, but the moon and the sun would absolutely apply as well. If you want to get a personal reading from me, or any of the interested in any of the offerings that I have, such as my decks and books and different things that I create, head over to my website to find out more. Otherwise, have a great Jupiter conjunct Venus, really the luckiest day of the year. I hope you all have a great one, and I'll be back again soon with another reading. Bye.